Greetings everyone, my name is Abigail Waria. I am a Zambian-based serial entrepreneur. My journey as an entrepreneur started some years ago when I was in college studying accounts. My friend and I figured that we were not so good with attending classes. Every time we paid for classes, we didn't actually attend them. So we thought, well, we can as well invest the tuition fees into a business and then just sit for exams. So this particular semester, we actually put our tuition fees together and invested in a business center. So one of the challenges I faced when starting out in business was technical knowledge. I say technical because I firstly didn't understand the agro-processing sector and operations. I also needed to understand the types of machines that we had acquired and how to use them. I also needed background information on the industry itself, and that was something very new to me coming from an accountancy background. Then the second challenge was a financial challenge. The kind of business that we're in requires us to bulk up a lot of raw materials for us to continue with production all throughout the year. But then we had a working capital challenge, which meant that at some point all through the year, we had to stop with production and then wait for farmers to harvest their commodities in order for us to buy for our processing. But then we couldn't do that because we are limited in terms of resources. One of the greatest challenges that we have as a business is transportation challenge. This is because most of our farmers are widely spread through 3 districts of the northern province, Balamungu and Dimpulungu. So by the time it gets to February, January as it rains, the road networks are cut off. And in order for us to solve this challenge, there is needs to invest in more off-road vehicles. Entrepreneurship is a journey, and I know that most of the challenges that my fellow women entrepreneurs face are relative to me. These issues center around access to finance, they center around equality, even basically the stereotypes that go with you being a woman in business. Most people think you can deliver and well. On top of that, you have to learn on the job because entrepreneurship itself involves risk-taking, it involves you being innovative, you get to do things that haven't been done before. Sometimes you even get to discover different solutions as you are implementing different projects or that particular project. So going forward, I feel there is a need to invest more in technical knowledge. Let's build capacity for women. Let's implement projects that target female-led organizations. Whenever there is a call for proposals or there is a funding out there, let it give priority to women entrepreneurs. That way, I think we'll be moving a step in the right direction in time. Yes.
Since started in 2018, Uncle Favors has faced a lot of challenges, but chief amongst that is the difficulty to find suitable technology to meet our processing needs. Now, we have managed to find some machines in China, but these Chinese machines are difficult to use. They don't deliver as promised. They don't deliver to the quality that we like. So they extend our processing time and they actually increase the amount of work that we need to do post-production. Also, they're difficult to maintain and the skills for maintenance are simply not existent in the Nigerian market. Another challenge that we have is penetrating the market. We're a new product. Peeled beans are not common in Nigeria. So we're kind of starting to get the people used to it. And we're also listening to the market to see what else they need. For instance, some people are asking for the beans to be powdered. So we're also looking at powdered beans. But more importantly, what we need help with is penetrating the diaspora market. So we're beginning to understand some of the standard requirements for some of these markets in the EU and in the United States. But we realize that other countries like India, also need and use peeled beans. So we need help for penetrating our export markets. Thank you.
It's a pleasure meeting you, everyone. So the reason before I became an entrepreneur, I was in college. I studied air ticketing and travel, hotel management, and tourism, and basically I added an extra language, which was Japanese language. And during that time, I found that I was struggling a lot to get a job, and I decided, as I am waiting for a job, let me start being selling things where I would go and find a product which has a lot of demand, and I'll go and buy it and resell it. This time I have faced a lot of challenges. Oh, a lot of challenges. One of the main challenges I faced is not having someone to encourage me or guide me of what I was doing. In Africa, it's a bit creepy, and most people think that a woman should get married immediately and have a family. So the things I used to do are they required a lot of energy, and I still needed a mentor. I needed a startup. I needed capital. I needed guidelines. I did not even know how to do a business plan. So basically, it was like a marketplace. I did have a challenge in terms of marketing. During those times, there was no WhatsApp, there was no social media. It was just Facebook, and people needed like if you open a company, they needed you to have a location, the rent, the place, the person who is going to follow up with you, the accounting. Basically, it was crazy. If in the beginning, if I had someone who would mentor me and guide me and nurture my dream and show me, yes, you can make it, I believe I could have gotten very far. But now I did it myself. I found the mistakes myself. I recorrected myself. The experience was on my own. So that is what I lacked. The other thing I lacked was capital. That is what I'm still lacking now. And a lot of women are lacking those two main things: someone to mentor them and capital, and someone to guide them and encourage them and tell them whatever you are doing, it can work and it can change lives for others. So my solutions or ideas is to continue pursuing what you believe in, continue pushing, not giving up, until you reach to a point that you are comfortable and can say that I went through this, I can train or I can mentor someone else, I can provide whatever they need at a certain point, so that they can change their lives and for their families, because that is the main challenge women entrepreneurs are facing.
Hello, my name is Dr. Maria Akani. I'm a psychiatrist, clinical psychologist, life coach, and the managing consultant of a company called Renaissance. I come from a country called Zambia, and before I started doing what I'm doing now, I was working in the government in a mental health facility. My ambitions to be a medical doctor. So after I started practicing in mental health, one of the biggest gaps that inspired me to then move into private practice was just seeing how that, because of all the stigma and all the different resource limitations that were in the tertiary hospital, we often saw people when they were at their worst, when they had already lost their jobs, lost hope, lost dignity, and so on. And I constantly felt like I was always mopping the water and not turning off the tap. One of the challenges I faced starting out was just I needed basic understanding of business and how it is done, because I didn't have a business background. I relied on my husband to really give me the basics. As in, I couldn't understand, for example, why you wouldn't just get money from a client who has paid to go and purchase some of the supplies we needed at the practice. Why did money always have to go through the bank? And so then understanding step by step what that was all about, how to develop a proper business strategy and a growth plan was really helpful. And also access to financing we definitely had several points at which growth was possible, but was delayed because we didn't have the access to the financing that we needed to have the growth. We are currently at a critical point like that once more, and bursting at the seams in one way, but are unable to do the growth because we currently need quite a significant investment, which we are working on. And that would definitely be important to bring our vision to birth. So access to financing, I think, is one critical aspect. Another critical aspect has been just seeing that most of these programs that are tailored at helping entrepreneurs are made in such a way that they focus on actual goods rather than services. So it would always take me a while to try and make the same application to how do you then deal with this same principle when you're dealing with services. And also, being in the medical field, there were not too many examples and mentors of businesses around, which has its own challenges. And I think that's something that would be helpful to have. Well, one of the solutions would definitely be access to financing, which is something that helps with growth, but not just financing alone. I think that training and mentorship programs are also helpful. You often need somebody to hold your hand, be a sounding board, somebody who has gone before you to sort of help you understand, anticipate some of the hills that are on the way along. But also networking. One of the things I've appreciated about these entrepreneurship programs is just the opportunity to be able to network with other people facing a journey similar to yours, and how that has helped even to access other support services that you would need. I would encourage other women who want to become entrepreneurs to seek out someone who's gone through the journey before and just chat to them about the idea, and not give up. Like, find people who are optimistic, people who have an open mind, and people who are well connected, because they can really link you up to services and networks that can help you to thrive. I think that even just having this platform where we can speak and be visible and be seen is also helpful. It validates us as entrepreneurs, but it also helps other women to see what women are capable of in different parts of Africa.
Hello, I'm Jane Nakasamu, and I am the co-founder of Greenbelt Energy. This is my video, and I hope you enjoy listening to, what I've been doing, the work that I'm currently doing, and what I hope to do. So my journey began years ago. I was actually born in Kafue. I'm Zambian by nationality, and I've always been proactive since I was young. I remember being very proactive in school. I studied international relations at Cyprus International University. Whilst at Cyprus International University, I was still very proactive. I took part in different clubs. One particular one that is very close to me is the Net Generation of Youth. The Net Generation of Youth is a club that focuses on bringing young people around the world together, teaching them digital media literacy. So I joined the Next Generation of Youth whilst I was in high school, actually. It was mostly focused on promoting high school learning and, joint learning with other schools. After I graduated from high school and went to university, I was still very passionate about the Next Generation of Youth, and I contacted Dr. Ronnie Lowenstein, who is the founder of the Next Generation of Youth, and I told her that I wanted to remain connected. So she then encouraged me to set up a club at my university for the Next Generation of Youth, and that's exactly what I did. So I was very proactive. So whilst in university with my friends, we would always look at challenges that are facing the world, that are facing, youths around the world and ourselves and within our countries. One particular challenge that we not acknowledged was the challenge of many businesses, because youths in Zambia, my country, are engaged with SMEs and small informal businesses, but then they fail to really grow their businesses. So we tried to think around how to improve the plight of businesses in Zambia. Whilst doing our research, we actually discovered that energy was one of the core crises that was facing many businesses, because without electricity for maybe 8 hours or 10 hours, they were not productive. Where are we today? Well, today we have our pilot biodigester where we're producing gas. We have a smart stove that we've developed with the National Technology Business Center. We have a number of partners who are assisting us, and we are growing. We're going to make a difference, and we're going to make it today. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful Women's Month.
In the production of ginger and turmeric, and largely with and by the smallholder rural women ginger farmers, as a way of closing the costly gender gap and increasing our participation in the global ginger market. Processing shall be done in South Africa.
Hello, I'm Magdalene Malvi. I'm 22 years old and I'm a Ghanaian. I am currently a student at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, offering Bachelor of Science in Disability and Rehabilitation Studies. So, as an entrepreneur, I am into the production and sales of local drinks and then desserts that are made from local recipes. So, how did I begin my journey? Now, I went for a workshop, some few years back. I went for a workshop and we were taught or exposed on the importance of having just more than one stream of income. So then I liked the idea, of having more than one stream of income to make me more independent and to make me more resourceful in my life. So I needed someone to help me with whatever idea that I was going to come up with. So then I looked through, I realized that, Sobolo, Asana, that is what people love, and it is easy to make, it's efficient, the profits are there. But then I was into teaching and I couldn't just drop that and move into the business. So what I needed most at that time was someone who would hold on to the initiative that I had and then hold hands with me and then join hands to do this. So I spoke with my mom about it and then she liked the idea as well. So my mom and I started this business we called Doki's Special. So I'd like to talk about some of the challenges that I faced when I began this entrepreneurial journey, or when I first started the business. Now the main challenge I faced was having to penetrate the market. When I started making the drinks, with my mother, people were already in that business. People were already doing that particular thing. So then the question goes like, why should we come and buy yours? Why should we patronize your product? So I think that was the major challenge that I faced as an entrepreneur concerning sales and marketing of my product. That is the major challenge that I faced. And as a young entrepreneur, or as a female entrepreneur in Ghana, one of the major challenges you're likely to face is how to manage your time. As a young lady in Ghana, aside your career prospects, it is expected of you to also take up certain responsibilities that are fit for you as a lady. And if you are going into business, or if you are looking at becoming an entrepreneur, then it means that you should be able to manage your time wisely. You should be able to you will be faced with the challenge of having to do so many things at the same time and still be efficient. So I think that one sure way of solving a challenge, no matter what it may be in your entrepreneurial journey, is to get in-depth knowledge about the particular field of business that you are involved with. And I'm sure that once you have the adequate knowledge and the requisite skills needed to penetrate that business, you're good to go, and then the sky is just a starting point for you. Thank you so much for having me.